Hey everyone, so I actually just finished prepping this planter box just to kind of speed up the process and stuff on our video. So I went crazy trying to look all over in this guy because I knew I planted a dahlia in him last year that I was really hoping I can and save back for this year and things like that. But unfortunately I probably should have just dug him up. Everyone does, but a lot of people were advising against it. So some of the bulbs I dug up, and those were obviously the ones that survived here where I'm at. And the ones I did not dig up to experiment with did not really survive. Now, the only part of a survivor I have are these guys, and I'm not quite convinced they're even from the dahlia. The leaves look a lot different than most dahlia leaves. Most dahlia leaves are very sharp and pointy looking. I'm keeping them in there just to keep tabs on them, because if they are a survivor of the dahlia that was in here, I would like to have it back. Like I know, like this little piece right here is actually the skin of the tuber, or whatever people like to call them, of the dahlia that was in here. But I learned my lesson. If those guys don't turn out to be dahlias, to just go ahead and dig them up and put them in bulb storage for the following year. So I'm going to be doing, now I've bought in these before. They're also from that Zyverden company, which are all guaranteed dahlia bulbs and stuff as well, that they will come back next year. This one did not, so I will go ahead and let them know and stuff. I have a lot more dahlias around the garden, so I'm not too worried about jumping on the phone and calling them up kind of a thing, because I still don't really have a full head count of what didn't make it, and I still have to grow the bulbs that I saved from last year too. So now this one is a Dahlia Duet. I have this one in the garden somewhere. The one that was in here was a purple dahlia. I have to look up in my garden book and see which one exactly it was, but I've grown this one and they are gorgeous. I haven't had one quite bloom like the photo posted here, but they are still gorgeous and just fun-loving plants to watch bloom and grow, and they get very tall and they can often get pretty wonky. So Dig Drop Done is really the whole name of the game here, the company and stuff that they work with. So it's a good time to plant these guys. This package came with 2 tubers. Here's tuber 1. And here's tuber 2. Now, from what I've gathered with dahlias, but look, they're already starting to grow in their packaging. See that? That's a little dahlia growth. That's pretty awesome. Now, what I've gathered from dahlias and from my dahlia groups and stuff, and if you guys are new and want to try out dahlias, these guys, you can't break them off and grow a new one. These are just the tubers, bulbs that feed off the big one, and then it helps feed the plant as a food source. When you go to split these guys, if I'm not mistaken, you want to split them with something like this. See? He ended up breaking off and becoming his own little root system. You can see the crown and stuff that he filled. So this guy was pleased enough with how big he was when he grew off of this one, and then he ended up getting split. And you see this little growth. So thankfully, odds in my favor that I actually got 3. Now this one's so tiny, I'm not too worried about it, but I definitely wouldn't plant 2 of these in this size garden pot. I notice I like doing the garden pots with the tubers and bulbs and things that I want to be able to keep continuously growing and splitting, because I'm not worried about a lot of extra things getting to them and ruining that bulb. So I'm going to go ahead and just plant my larger one today and figure out where he could go later. And like I said before, this guy's so small, I probably won't see too much from him. I highly doubt he'll take up a lot of room this time around. But this one, for sure, I want to get in here. He's really nice and big. He's got nice growth on him. I've already put my stake in. I did not start off with the tall one. I like to add them as they go. Probably more work for me. Really don't care about that. It just makes it look nicer and cleaner. I'm just going to grab a nice thick amount of this and just roll it over. Get it out there. And I want to get this guy pretty close to the stake here because I don't want to be bending and manipulating the plant too much upon its growth. So I'm looking around the size of my tuber. I feel like I mean, most people would probably dig this amount and be fine with it. I think I want to make it just a little bit less shallow. Add another layer there. But I do want him to fan out. I don't want all those bulbs and stuff really sitting on top of each other like that, because with them touching each other, it may not allow appropriate amount of oxygen flow and looseness in the soil, and they might actually start to really fight one another, or root rot might really begin. And I mean, you don't have to be crazy. You want to throw it in there, throw it in there. I didn't know what I was doing my first time around when growing these dahlias. I really didn't. And I just kind of went off of what I've heard and seen, and everyone says, you know, it's just really good to be able to get these guys to kind of fan out and do their own thing to help ensure that they're not sitting on top of one another and all that stuff. And then I'm just going to gently pack him back up. And I like to cheat a little bit just because I like, most people will cover up that little smidgen right there, but it makes me happy to see him. I want to let him be able to breathe and get some sunlight and maybe help him grow a little more. So I'm just going to kind of keep him uncovered there. Our little smidgen, I'll call him that. Not sure what else you would really want to call him. So I'm just going to put, I changed my mind. I want to get this guy over here. Once you guys have them in this box or whatever it is you're going to put them, I suggest that it better be the last place you want to do them. I noticed dahlias really don't take... Oh, where'd my little smidge go? Smidgen! Smidgy! There we go. I noticed that dahlias really don't take too kindly to constantly being uprooted. And depending on how mature the plant is, you may not be able to uproot it and do it all over again. So, just trying to fan out my soil here because I'm starting to get a hump. And I do... or I did want to plant that one. I seem to have lost it in here. That's never a good thing. Did I set him to the side? Oh, it's okay. I'll find him later on and stuff in the video, and I'll just rearrange and things of that nature. Oh, there he is. Now I don't have to worry about it. So yeah, I'm really shocked to see him grow. I've never seen this with these packages and stuff, but it did. It happened. It's awesome. I'm just going to put him on the other side of this. Not going to be as deep or as wide. I do want that nice point, the crown, some people call it and mention it, to be showing upward. Just make sure his little nubby nub is visible. And just kind of go from there. When this starts to grow a little bit more upward, I'll go ahead and fill in the rest of the soil, but I'm not too worried about it right now. I'm going to get these guys watered in, and dahlias really like it in this spot. I've grown quite a few in this spot. Not if you guys don't know or not, but I'm from North Georgia now. I'm getting used to it, and I had a whole bunch of dahlias in the front of the house, and the one side of the house. It just too much sunlight, too much stuff, too much everything for these guys. I know everyone says they're drought resistant. I know everyone says that they're heat tolerant, sturdy plants, but the moment I was able to give my guys a little bit of break from all the crazy rain, and when we get our crazy rains, and a little bit of a break from the intense heat and sun that we have here, they were blooming like crazy. So that's my personal preference. That's what I found out. And hopefully a week from now, we'll be able to check on these guys and see how they're doing. So hope everyone has a good day. Definitely check them out. I've never had a dahlia from this company. That's why I've been buying other things from this company that didn't grow. Dahlias and sunflowers are definitely my go-to flowers in the garden, and they are just pretty amazing. So, if I'm not mistaken, I know it says it's an annual, but these guys are tubers and they can grow again, so I'm not sure why the annual sticker's there. So maybe you guys might know. Drop a comment in the links. Let me know how you feel. Here's some things on it. And I hope you guys have a great day. Bye-bye.